Hi, welcome to Rosebud Gaming, and I'm continuing my stream with Disco Elysium. I am currently still on day 2. And I'm actually running out of things to do for day 2, so I don't have the bridge down yet, and that won't be till day 3. Okay, just got the thing on the bottom that says need to pass time by a book. So maybe I'll go buy a book so that I can pass some time. And actually, I'm right outside the bookstore. Alright, let's see. Level up. Let me see here. Let's put another one in authority. Alright, let's see what else we can do. Oh yeah, we got the dice. These two 20-sided dice have the colors of a police alarm, bloodstone for red and lapis, and I can't read the rest of it. For blue, if you roll them and squint your eyes, it looks like you're arriving on the scene. And it's raining. No, look at the map, tab in the journal to see which white checks have opened. Okay. Leading instrumental organ of Martinez communism offers a radical Mazovian perspective on the range of contemporary issues. The cover features a stylized portrait of the late King Friso, with a pair of white antlers growing out of his head. Alright.
The face of King Friso smiles at you. For some reason, the smile now strikes you as more forced than it did before. Comrade, as you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, Du cristal a la fumée. This was his way of describing the way the rigid, crystalline structures of capitalist ideology turned to smoke under communism. But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going à la fumée, unlike many publications which are content to spoon-feed their readers reassuring drivel. La Fumée is committed to telling the radical truth, even when that truth may drive away potential subscribers. Only 4 issues in, and it sounds like they've already alienated their readership. So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today. Yours in struggle, the editors.
What do you expect? It was laying around the office of the Debarders Union. They're probably bankrolling the thing.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you. This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round of free trade negotiations between the EPIS nations and the Free State of Semenine. You also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smuggling along the Messina border, something about bear wrestling in Samara, book riots in Yugograd. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bear wrestling. Flip back to that.
Alright, let's see what this bear wrestling is all about.
It seems to be part of a new public fitness initiative in the People's Republic of Samara, SRV, devised and promoted by none other than President Kanajinsky himself. According to this extremely credulous account, Uncle Sport, as he's affectionately known to his people, has recently decreed bear wrestling the national sport of the SRV.
When it says bear wrestling, does that mean two bears are wrestling each other, or...
Of course not. The article makes plain that this is man on bear, or in some cases, woman on bear competition. 2 competitors, 1 ring, 5 rounds, or until incapacitation. According to the SRV's Ministry of Information, the program has been a tremendous success. Public support stands at 87%, and youth obesity and alcoholism rates are down 12% and 7% respectively.
Okay.
This is the SRV we're talking about. If you think those are the real numbers, there's probably a guy who wants to sell you a bridge in La Chute.
Guess it's hard to fight a bear if you're out of shape. Guess it's hard to fight a bear if you're drunk. Not sure I trust these numbers.
What are you, a statistician? Did the moral intern send you on a fact-finding mission? This is the SRV party line, comrade.
Kim, do you think there's any chance our case will take us to the SRV? Always good to catch up on foreign affairs.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
What is Kunst and Kultur?
It takes a moment, but gradually it dawns on you that Kunst und Kultur must mean arts and culture. Why they decided to title this one section in Volda is beyond you. It evokes a sense of recognition and fellowship among those privileged enough to understand. As you leaf through this section, you come across several reviews of recent radio plays, as well as a brief artist spotlight featuring a local artist identified only as CS. The main feature, though, is a long essay titled Tip Top Tourney, a critical Mazovian perspective.
Read the profile of C.S.
This so-called artist spotlight is really just a brief Q&A, made all the briefer by the subject's evident hostility to her interviewer. That certainly sounds like a certain delinquent youth who likes to harass you from her balcony.
Just a moment, what is this tip-top tourney?
The actual article is surprisingly light on details, but after skimming a page or two, you gather that it has something to do with motor carriage racing. If you don't follow it, you only ever hear about the ludicrous sponsorships and obscene death toll.
Alright, let's see what these communists have to say about Tip Top.
You think you're settling in for a relaxing recap of the most recent season, maybe sprinkled with some nice anecdotes about a few of the more colorful drivers. Instead, you find yourself skimming a 10,000-word feature about all the politically problematic aspects of Tip Top Tourney.
Wait, what's wrong with Tip Top?
Where to even start? For one, there's the crass commercialism of its sponsorships, and then there's the practically criminal emphasis on deadly motor crashes.
Hang on, who wrote this stuff?
Oddly enough, this article has 2 bylines. Nasteb Encolada Bernal and Exilus Buka.
What's so bad about sponsorships?
Under capitalism, the article says, every pursuit has its price. Every pleasure, even one as elemental as the joy of racing others around a track, is reduced to an advertising opportunity. Thus, the so-called tournée becomes a competition between increasingly meaningless brand signifiers. Your discount laundry detergent racing against a pack of Astra cigarettes, or even a frita.
Right, but then you get to see them crash.
And that precisely is what's problematic about it. Were it not for the promise of random, spectacular violence, audiences would quickly lose interest. At the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 750,000 real races that you're really watching for.
No, I'm pretty sure I like it for the racing. Wow, you're right. I really am just in it for the violence.
You see, one cannot avoid the conclusion that Tip Top Tournée is simply the apotheosis of spectacular entertainment under capitalism.
Kim, did you know Tip Top Tourney is actually the orgiastic ritual of capital destruction? I had no idea. Or, Kim, this article says that no one watches the Tip Top Tourney for the races.
I can safely say the thought had never crossed my mind, Detective.
Lieutenant furrows his brow. I wonder what else is really just a metaphor for life under capitalism. It's too bad. I thought I liked Tip Top.
I'm sure most things are, if the young men who wrote this article are to be believed. If I had to wager, I'd say they've never even seen the inside of a motor, much less a motor race. I take whatever they write with a large grain of salt.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Let's see what they mean by local concerns.
Unsurprisingly, much of this section is taken up with articles declaring unqualified support for the dock workers' strike. You skim the headlines. Paint the harbor red and white. Martinez tames the wild pines. A city in revolt. First we take Martinez, then we take La Delta. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Cape Side apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent.
Darn communists should have killed a lot of them when they had the chance. If it weren't for the wild pines, all those moochers would be out of a job. Charging rent just to live somewhere is pretty outrageous. Wouldn't it be better for everyone if labor and capital could reach some reasonable accommodations? Why should I care? This doesn't really have anything to do with me.
According to these editorials, there can be no accommodation with the forces of international capital or their mucilaginous allies in the coalition. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you. It takes a moment, but gradually why they decide it evokes a sense as you leaf through. The main feature, though, is a long essay titled Tip Top Tournée, a critical Mazovi. You think yourself, instead you find yourself, where to even start? For one, there's the crass commercialism of its sponsorship, and that precisely is what's problematic about it. Were it not for the promise of random, spectacular violence, audiences would quickly. At the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 750,000 real races that you're really watching for.
No, I'm pretty sure I liked it for the racing.
Sure, you think that, but subconsciously, it's the visions of brand names being engulfed in flames that you crave.
I guess I've never thought about it that much.
That's because you haven't been reading critically. But don't worry. The whole point of these sorts of articles is to let someone else read critically for you.
Ah, come on. Can this article read your mind?
It seems to think so.
A certain kind of young man reads one or two books and suddenly thinks he understands the secret structures of reality. If I had to wager, I'd say they've never even seen the inside of a motor, much less a motor race. I take whatever they write with a large grain of salt.
And same
You
response.
flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of... This section, you also... Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bear wrestling. Flip back to that. It seems to be, according to this extremely credulous account, Uncle Sport, as he's based on the description in this article, he appears to be an extremely competent and democratically elected president.
Great, now let's get to the bear wrestling.
It's quite straightforward. According to the SRV, this is the SRV we're talking about. If you think those are the real numbers,
it's hard to fight a
there's
bear if you're
probably a
drunk.
guy
I
who
guess
wants
it's
to
hard to
sell
fight a
you
bear
a
if
bridge
you're out of
in La
shape.
Chute. Precisely. For too long, drink has been a scourge to the working class. And President Kaczynski is deeply committed to supplying the people with more.
The Samaran People's Republic? No, I should expect not. Why do you ask?
I was thinking it might be fun to see a bear fight. I was thinking it might be fun to partake in a bear fight.
They're quite the spectacle, as I understand. I've heard they make the people in the front rows wear plastic sheets. On account of the blood, you see.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you. Unsurprisingly, you skim the head. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Capeside Apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent.
Oh, let's try the first one.
One of the editorials proclaims that the more the forces of reaction attempt to crush the body, the more defiant the spirit of communism becomes. Sounds like their bodies just haven't been crushed enough yet. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents, unsurprising, you skim the... Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin. According to these editorials, private enterprise is simply a means of organizing labor that would already happen, regardless. It goes on to call the Wild Pines a nightmarish transnational leech sucking the life from the laboring classes of Martinez. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents.
All right, let's see if there's
Unsurprisingly,
anything
you skim the...
else.
Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin. The writer, G. Martin, remarks dryly that capitalists love wealth redistribution, so long as it's only redistributed upward. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of...
I don't think there's anything else.
The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece. Someone has scribbled, S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it somewhere safe. You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen...
Alright, well, it's 1800 now, and I got till 2100. See if this person has anything else to say. Oh.
The woman before you.
Let's see, I don't think I missed anything in here.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it.
Alright, we did everything there.
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting.
Pry bar is -20, not strong enough.
The ice squeaks beneath the pry bar. You think you've got the bar jammed in there pretty well, but the lid, you see the pry...
Yeah, well, that's a good pry bar. I'm not criticizing it, but this ice cream maker is frozen shut. It takes an advanced tool to get it open.
Advanced, where do we get one?
I have no idea, officer. This ice cream maker isn't important enough to requisition a special tool.
Sooner or later, you will stumble upon a tool mighty enough. Then we will know what's in this mysterious ice cream maker.
Alright, let's unplug the refrigerator.
Only the red cable is plugged. An electric sizzle. The room is slight.
Anything else around here? Oh, I didn't go in here yet. Cellar window. People's feet shuffling by on the street. Anything else?
The bear's eyes are dead and empty. Ice inside. I missed anything in here. Oh, let's go back up here and see if we missed anything. Alright,
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die?
I have more questions about the building.
I'm listening.
I have more questions about the intercom.
I'm pretty sure it still doesn't work, but sure. What do you want to know?
And it looks like I've asked everything.
Sure, I'm listening. Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. What else? Of course. Tell me what you have in mind. A normal die? I'm a novelty dice maker. I don't make normal dice.
What do you do then?
Polyhedral dice. Dice that have more than 4 sides. Octahedrons, trapezohedrons, dodecahedrons. But also barrel dice and teetotum bowls. Come on now, be a little creative. How about an amber dye? Alright, maybe some other dye then? No need to rush. Take a look around, see if anything inspires you.
Hey, so we've been monitoring you internally, and now we know your Copo type.
Wait, there are capo types?
Yes. Guess what's yours?
Cool cop, some kind of weapon cop, sorry cop. I was just hoping I'm the superstar cop. I was kind of thinking I'm a regular cop. Let's go with superstar cop.
That is only a ludicrous daydream. Guess again. You're the...
Cool cop?
No, you're the sorry cop. The cop who's sorriest. Let's make it official then, shall we?
Won't the other copier types be jealous? I'm sorry, opt-in. No, actually, I'm not sorry. I changed my mind. Darn, they should be sorry.
No, you don't. Come on. You'll be back to saying sorry in 2 minutes. Stop wasting time and begin the repentance.
No, I'm really not sorry. Darn.
Wow. Okay. Fuck off. Maybe we were wrong about you then.
Alright.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't talk right now. I'm very busy with my homework. I have so much homework now.
You just can't win. Out of the rain and into the gutter.
Suggestion medium. What are you missing here? Why does this feel familiar? What are you doing now? Let's try this one.
You have absolutely no idea. Familiar? How? You must have forgotten something you heard again.
What are you doing now?
Math. It's really difficult. Like, really. They say you need it to get rich. Better than standing outside in the cold, I guess. Oh, I found something while you were away.
Smiles and perks up. What is it?
I thought this would fit you. Like, thanks for helping out. Not me. The city, I mean. Like a detective does.
She gives you a hat. Almost exactly like the one Dick Mullen wears on the covers. Wait, where did you get it? It's a fedora? A detective hat? Okay, I get it. I could look just like Dick Mullen's, except I am an actual police officer.
Yes, I bet it looks good on you. Really serious. Right, I have to get back to my homework now, before Mum notices. Man, this is hard.
She looks back at the infernal scribblings under her nose. Okay, bye. See you around, Annette.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Wirral-related merchandise. An endless variety of source books, law books, and codices litter the table. The topmost book is titled Welkin Compendium, 2nd edition. There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art, The Hunters of Catawak, Boreal Creature Compendium, and a Pick Your Path adventure gamebook titled Tales of Wirral, Cavern of Velkrag. There's a box that says Wirral, 3rd edition Mega Setting Supplements Module. The side panel notes, a fantastique adventure board game, new maps and miniatures. A sticker on it displays 25 real. That price is steep, but then it's the 3rd edition Mega Setting Supplement, so it makes sense. Nonsense for anemic Beano clods.
board games, sir. The Viticulturist is a classic for sure, or perhaps you'd like Archipelagos of Insulinde, a very educational game for those interested in geography. Raubritter is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family. You can play with your children.
Who are you going to play board games with? Do you have friends or family?
Wow, I have children? A family? Do I have friends? Look at the lieutenant. I don't want to think about this. Let's go. Wow, I have children, a family.
It certainly feels like whatever you are will die with you.
Look at me. Who'd want to have children with me? I don't feel as if I have any kids. Yes, kids, friends, chicks, I have all those.
Then you're a lucky man, officer. Children are the greatest of treasures.
She fiddles with her pendant, thinking.
For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you build a civilization, then set off to brutally colonize and repress other civilizations. It'll cost 12 real.
So what about all these viral things?
Lousy auras there. No, role-playing games are popular among those types. You know, who are into those kind of things. Personally, I don't like it. Not at all. I've heard they turn people into occult enthusiasts. That they have rituals where they try to summon entities. Highly immoral stuff. You can still buy them, though.
Alright. I want to buy the Suzerainty game. I want to buy the Wizard game. And I'm not gonna buy anything today.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word Hyundal somewhere.
Oh, Man from Hyundal. A very popular series of adventure novels. They're awfully immoral and violent books.
Why are they so popular?
Blood and violence, scantily clad women, epic narratives, all those mystical things he encounters. They're bound to grab those with little imagination and nothing to do.
Sounds good. Which ones should I start with?
What does it matter? They're all the same. However, the customer is always right, they say. If you're a novice of the series, I'd recommend Hyundalaman, the Man from Hyundal. It's supposed to be a good introduction to the series.
Pain threshold medium. Do any of these books call out to me?
Nothing of interest. Only silence and the cosmic background pain radiation. Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring the supposedly stalwart Vespertine detective, Dick Mullen.
Oh, crime, robberies, murders, even sexual crimes. We're fortunate to have Dick Mullen and his stories to sort all that out. You're a police officer, apparently. You should buy all of these. They really do teach a person how to be a proper detective.
Okay.
Crime fiction is a disgrace. These books. Furthermore, what's more, not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, would you like a list of all the books found on the shelf? You see, Dick Mullen on the job. Get Me Mullen. The Stalwart Adventures of Richard P. Mullen. Dick Mullen and the Murder in the Orchard. The Sordid Affair of Dick Mullen. A killing is declared. Dick Mullen in the Murder House. The Final Case of Dick Mullen. An Obvious Lie. Dick Mullen in the Clock Tower. The Ordeals of Dick Mullen. Dauntless Dick. Dick Mullen's Funeral Pyre. The Murder of Dick Mullen.
Dick Mullen dies?
Oh no, turns out he faked it to solve a case.
Are there any more?
Yes, there's also the dame who did it. Farewell, my Mullen. Faking death seems to be a common trope in the Mullen series. The morbid tales of Dick Mullen. A dark tide turns. Tragedy calls for Dick Mullen. Another one with fake death. And, of course, Dick Mullen, the murderer. In order to catch a murderer, Dick Mullen must become the murderer.
Okay.
After all this, you still haven't found the answer to the one question that matters. Who is Dick Mullen? Your quick eye notices a small caterpillar crawling across the spine of a book. The title reads, Dick Mullen and the Mistaken Identity.
What do we have here? Mistaken identity.
A worn paperback from Dick Mullen's classic Hard-Boiled Phase. The premise seems to be that Dick Mullen is framed for the murder of his best friend and has just a few days to prove his innocence.
Why does this speak to me?
Could it be the motifs of unstable identities and shocking betrayals?
That's probably right. I'm a complicated guy full of contradictions. No, it's gotta be something else.
Then this is the book for you.
I guess.
Of course. Such violence and immorality. I mean, enjoy.
Shelves full of biographies of...
I would say... The Greatest Innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's an important educational tool, delving into the depths of history, religion, and their relation to innocentic power. A very influential historical figure, but surely I don't have to tell you that. You're a law officer, and law officers have at least some education. The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understandings of the innocentic system, creating a fresh vantage point and a shift in the tired order of things.
I thought it was about which of these innocents is the coolest and greatest. So you recommend it. Great. I don't need to know anymore.
Certainly. It's prudent for a person to have at least an elementary understanding of history and society. Imagine the chaos we'd be in otherwise.
You feel like you should get this one. Definitely. It's important somehow. There's something personal inside.
A true cultural touchstone. Enjoy the read.
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people.
Sir, please, no browsing in that shelf. That wisdom is not for free. I can't have you end up, like, opening a police store next door and stealing my customers. Oh no!
Amidst the various books, you find one written by someone named Matthias W. Dundas. It's about wholeness, unity, balance. The point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice in situations where they don't have access to paid health services. It serves platitudes, while also telling everyone that traditional medicine, the kind people don't have access to and which costs more than this book, is garbage and would only give you cancer anyway, without even curing your cold or anything. Wholeness, unity, balance, on the other hand, can basically take care of anything. Though it is important to note, when it's up to your mind to heal yourself, then it's because of your mind that you're ill in the first place. It's your own fault if you're ill. Got it? The book features chapters on topics such as how to find magnesium. It even lists plants you can harvest magnesium from. How to continue drinking if you're an alcoholic who has destroyed his liver. And there's even a chapter on the ancient Seraïs tradition of using duck gallbladder preservatives to treat and prevent sexually transmitted diseases. Pre and post factum apply. Nothing worth buying. This is just mundane garbage. What's even paranatural about this? The throbbing in your head increases with every passing moment you gaze at this shelf. Suddenly, as if out of nowhere, a small green book becomes apparent. The title of it reads, Medicinal Purposes of the Pearl. The book contains descriptions of various pseudoscientific therapies, alternative medicines, and folk remedies involving the pearl, also known as le territoire. For example, it recommends vigorously swatting one's naked body with a venik, or hand broom, made from the leafy twigs of a young birch tree from the near pearl.
Okay.
It is supposedly invigorating and good for the circulation. It also recommends consuming distilled spirits like vodka or whiskey that have been aged in the pearl. Readers are instructed to cover these jars in a shallow hole just inside the pearl and leave them there for 30 to 60 days, depending on the potency desired.
And what does this pale aged liquor do?
Among other benefits, it is alleged to restore a damaged liver to perfect health. That seems improbable. For general health and well-being, readers are encouraged to take regular strolls through the pearl, though a sidebar cautions readers to limit each stroll to less than an hour. These strolls promise to cleanse the mind of worries and the body of toxins, especially if the perambulator performs this ritual in the nude. Nudity figures prominently in a number of these prescriptions. This is exactly what you need. There's an entire section devoted to cures for men who are struggling to perform their marital obligations. You close the book and return it to its place on the shelf.
Indeed. Something about that book does seem to have spoken to you. Well, I hope it contains what you're looking for.
Alright, it's 18:33. I got a half an hour before I can go up to this guy's apartment.
This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum. A thick layer of graffito covers the lenses. You spell out the word Onuk written on the other side, with N and C scribbled backwards. That's Kuno on the lens.
Shift your focus to the background.
Under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies a coast studded with concrete and reeds. On it, a church on stilts, lanky weather-worn wooden planks, an X-shaped cross topping its tower. You know this to be the Star of Pericarnassus, or the Cairo, the central symbol of the Pericarnassian Church, a star, a great moral height to be strived toward. The church looks old and weather-worn. There are no lights in the windows. Around the large wooden building you see chunks of sea ice gathered on the beach. and a small tent set up on the ice. This coin-operated viewer is facing south. The instruction manual says to insert 25 centimes and pull the handle while looking inside. Why place a tourist attraction in the middle of such poverty? Your money disappears into the coin slot. A clunk. The ring. The curtains on the display open. You lean in to catch the view. It's blurry. Different blues and greens. In the middle of the shimmer stands a drab grey shape, like a ghost. The lenses shift. The ghost sharpens into an islet in the bay. In the ruins, a man-made structure is visible. A half-sunken sea fort. Its concrete almost reconquered by nature. It looks as if it was abandoned quite some time ago. Nothing but a rotten tooth remains of the anti-aircraft tower. A lonely birch tree grows out of it.
There are ruins of some kind of building there.
Really? I don't have the eyesight to make it out.
Lieutenant takes off his glasses and cleans them.
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
Alright, I guess I'll see if I can read another book while I wait for this guy to get here. Let's do this one, I guess.
Medicinal purposes of the pearl. The cover of this heavy tome features a number of esoteric symbols. Flipping through the book, you find a number of sections on the general benefits of the pearl. A large pharmacopoeia makes up nearly half of the book.
What's a pharmacopoeia?
You come across the following explanation. While modern pharmacopoeia are continually updated by so-called experts based on the results of clinical trials, readers will find assembled here the timeless wisdom relied upon by generations of traditional Seolite medicine practitioners, Mesk mystics, and Ilmaran folk doctors. It's all quackery, in other words. Finally, something to calm the angry spirits that have been plaguing you. It seems to contain descriptions of the medicinal properties of various ingredients that may be gathered from the pearl, as well as instructions for producing a variety of herbal remedies.
Is there anything in there about restoring lost memories?
There are a number of Seolite tonics that promise to improve your short-term memory, but nothing that speaks to your condition.
Just want something that will soothe the relentless torment of my existence. Anything about curing an lot of excuse me. Whatever, hangover.
There's nothing in here that speaks to hangovers directly. However, while browsing through the various descriptions, you become convinced that you could assemble something from the ingredients listed here. Want to give it a shot?
Rub your hands together. Alright, book, let's see what you got.
First, you need to choose a base ingredient.
Ginger root, a sprig of fresh mint, or common meadow rue.
Next, you'll need to combine the base ingredient with an appropriate vehicle.
Mix it with a dram of whiskey, boil it with a tea made from birch bark, mash it into a paste with some aloe vera extract. Let's do the whiskey.
Lastly, is there anything else you'd like to add?
A few pomegranate seeds, a spoonful of sugar, or some wild ginseng roots. Let's go sugar.
You've created a delicious tincture of whiskey and ginger. According to the pharmacopoeia, it should increase your energy and focus, though, in your experience, it's only done the opposite. If only you could find one of these right now and drink the shit out of it. The book said it's good for you, so it would be okay. Would you like to try again?
Sure.
Very well. First, choose a base ingredient. Next, you'll need to combine the base ingredient with an appropriate. Lastly, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Some wild ginseng roots.
You've created a delicious tincture of whiskey and ginger. According to the pharmacopoeia, it should increase your energy and focus, though, in your experience, it's only done the opposite. If only you could find one of these right now and drink the shit out of it. The book said it's good for you. Would you like to try again? Very well. Next, you'll need to combine the basing. Lastly, is there anything else you'd like? You've created a delicious tincture of whiskey and ginger. According to the pharmacopoeia, it should increase your energy and focus, though, in your experience, it's only done the opposite. If only you could find one. Would you like to try again? Very well. First, choose a. Next, you'll need to combine the basic. Lastly, is there anything else you'd like to add? You've created a delicious tincture of whiskey and ginger. According to the pharmacopoeia,
What the heck? I
it
didn't
should
even pick
increase your
those
energy and
things.
focus, though, in your experience, it's only done. If only you could
Okay.
find one of. Would you like to try again?
Nope.
You close the book and find yourself staring at the familiar cover once more.
Put the book away. Alright, what time is it? I've still got another half an hour. Oops. Alright, let's read another book, I guess. The Book of Great Innocence.
The Greatest Innocence by João Paulo Salomão Lopes de Fuego. The book is large and heavy.
Crack open immense tome.
Browsing through the various chapters, you try your best to understand the ceaseless overflow, the sprawl of names, dates, places, events historical. Most of it ends up as a twisted mass of facts inside your brain. You can do it. It'll be worth it. There's something here. Your educational survey is done. Did you catch any of that? No. Oh well, it's pop quiz time. Let's see what you've learned. This might take a few minutes. You ready? That's the spirit. Here we go. Question 1. Who was the first innocence? Oh yeah, this is what I was made for.
That's so. Alright, go on. Give me all the hints you got. Sola. Let's do
A
that
pop
one.
quiz is a short examination designed to test your knowledge without any prior warning or announcement. Such exams allow the teacher to assess how thoroughly the students have retained the material at hand. Voila. Now blast that first innocence. Thanks for nothing. Dolores Day. Dolores. Incorrect. Dolores Day was the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. She codified parliamentary democracy and created modern institutions. Among these, the moral intern, she was powerful and beautiful on all her icons. Her colors are silver, white, and apricot. And when you think her name, Dolores, stomach acid rises to the back of your throat, and it hurts. You see a flash silver, a wreath, an airport bag, and blonde hair. You don't know why. Another choice, perhaps? Steer clear of this one. There's something terrible about this one.
Okay.
Yes, the quiz is impersonal. No need to rouse sensations in yourself at the mention of Dolores. Incorrect. Sola was anointed during the previous century and even lived to see the current one. She was an urban planner who spoke her mind and largely left history to its own devices, encouraging people to excel on their own rather than prescribing to a deified model of history. She is often called an anti-innocence. Sola resigned after an assassination attempt by a Yugo nationalist who blamed her for not taking the side of the left during the turn-of-the-century revolutions. Innocences don't usually resign. Care to try again? Then go with your best guess. Isn't that what students are trained to do when they don't know the answer? Correct. Nothing much is known about him. It's not even clear that he was a he, but Franco Negro presumed as such and called him Pius. He's depicted as a young man with molten gold pouring out of his mouth. All he spoke was gold. It's said he invented God and equality of men before God. He also introduced the gold standard as a way for measuring people's love for Aurum. As the first innocence, he declared that there should be more of those like him. It is presumed his disciples were the beginning of the Holy Party, the founding party. Question 2. Who was the strongest innocence? Easy. Everybody knows the answer to this. You, me, anybody. Incorrect again. While she originated many modern institutions, launched several successful expeditions, and was even critical of the Innocentic system itself, and somehow keeps popping up in your mind, she is not often considered the strongest, even though the words most associated with her rule are l'amour, la compassion, la autodiscipline, love, compassion, self-control, which could be seen as facets of strength. Would you like to try again? Please, relax. Incorrect. Vespa Messina is not a person, but a defunct state on the southeastern coast of the Occident. It used to take up most of the peninsula before separating into the republics of Vespa and Messina. Care to try again? Correct. Named the innocence of militarism, he codified hereditary rule, but at the same time ended serfdom and established the Inter-Isolari Real as the global reserve currency. He also established the concept of the nation. Franco Negro attempted to solve the rising tensions between the aristocracy and bourgeoisie by building a unified society in which every man has a place and a mission, but at the same time may rise to nobility provided on the strength of his virtue. Question 3. Who was the false innocence? Got it under control. No problem. Solid on this one. It's widespread historical information. Correct. There have been a number of counter or false innocences, some assumed to have innocentic qualities, some who just thought so themselves. Occasionally, they have the support of a faction inside the ecclesiastic organization, and accusations of foul play have arisen. The most famous and important of these was Ernest Pasternak. He was into torture, despotism, hymns, cannons, and world conquest, but got defeated and humiliated by Stepan the Despicable of Kedra. Final stretch. You've come so far and learned so much. This is the most important one. Question 4. Who was the greatest innocence? The most important of them all. The most precious to humankind. I've got it. Honest. Correct. The Mesk might see Franco Negro as the father of nations, but as of this century, there's been a great shift in attitude. Dolores Day has become widely regarded as the greatest innocence. A most radical change to the whole fabric of the world. Everything from inter-esolary travel to the connected world to 3 consecutive scientific revolutions can be traced back to her. Every decade that passes, she seems less human somehow, and more beautiful. Congratulations on finishing the test. The results and your subsequent grade have been calculated. You get a D. Not particularly remarkable, but technically a passing grade. Not that anyone really expected better. You would have done better if you'd just left Dolores Day for the end. Dial the Dolores Day down a bit.
What's going on with you? Okay.
You are shouting at an inanimate object, like a real weirdo. No wonder you seem to have trouble with the right answers.
Alright, let's see if we pass enough time to go upstairs. And yes, we did. Alright. Cooper, lay down, buddy. Alright. Alright, let's head up to the balcony and see if this guy's home.
Yes?
And this is the wrong balcony. You hear distant traffic. Night is falling on the city. Maroon glow of light. Pollution rises from the east.
Gendarmerie, you found me.
Young man on the balcony gives you a bright smile before taking another drag from his sip.
And his shirt is still unbuttoned.
Yes, the clean lady let us in.
Beautiful.
He replies, smiling as he looks at you. Something sparkles in his eyes.
So tell me, are you here to make things right again?
That's what I'm aiming for. Honestly, I'm just trying to not screw anything up. I'm not going to make things just right. I'm going to make them spectacular. I was hoping to talk to a possible witness. Your balcony overlooks the murder scene.
Then I have some good news for you.
His eyes narrow. A nearby street lamp casts shadows on his chin, drawing out the slender cheekbones.
My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight. I told him about you and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting.
Why would I want to meet your friend?
Trust me, you do.
Very well, I'll talk to him, but first I want to talk to you. I have so many questions.
That's nice, but I don't have anything to tell you. It's my friend you're looking for, not me.
He takes another drag of his unfiltered cigarette and looks around. It's getting dark and the neighboring windows have lit up, one by one. Downstairs, a cat crosses the yard, disappearing into the bush.
Besides, I've got to run.
He's going to leave you alone again. That's sad. Something tells you you're never going to talk to an individual this cool or mysterious ever again.
Go if you must, I don't care. I don't care about people leaving me all the time. Run where?
To the city. It's a beautiful night.
He gestures idly towards distant motorways. Only if you promise that we'll talk again, it's important.
Something flutters in the corner of the lieutenant's mouth as you're saying those words.
We'll talk. Just not tonight.
Brushing his hand through the air, just not tonight.
Take care, all right?
There's something so different about him that I just can't put my finger on. Let's go, Kim. We have to interview his Sunday friend.
Different, of course.
His shirt. Why is his shirt always unbuttoned? He's such a good listener. I like talking to him. There's just something so mysterious about the way he talks and moves. He smells good. Why on earth does he smell so good? Alright, let's go.
Something so mysterious about the way he talks.
Lieutenant squints his eyes, trying to hold back laughter. Very mysterious.
Very.
He's barely holding it together. It's all he can do to keep from bursting out in laughter.
Come on, detective, let's go. We've got a potential witness to interview. His Sunday friend, remember?
Dates for open lectures at the university. Okay. An exquisite canopy bed made of metal. Old photo of the same apartment dated year '01. Okay, that's weird. Buckets of paint on a layer of old newspapers.
Officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
The man in the business casual removes his cufflinks.
You shouldn't be seeing him in an intimate setting. For some reason you feel this man is your superior. Superior, but he's not in the command chain. His hands are clean and well manicured. This is a man who knows the importance of appearances.
My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government. I work for the Institute of Price Stabilité on assignment from Sur-la-Clé. I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good. Super. I am here to assist you in any way possible. Ask me about the hanging.
No, first ask an innocuous personal question to get the interview off on the right foot. Yes, make it clear you're the one setting the terms here.
Oh yes, my friend has a great eye for these things. He refuses to tell me where it came from. It's a mystery. I believe they call this type of frame industrial. It's very comfy. That's really all I can tell you about it.
He forms a little rooftop with his fingers. Cold air sweeps from the balcony.
That didn't work at all. The lieutenant takes out his notebook and nods to you to proceed.
Let's see. You actually witnessed the lynching?
I'm sorry to say I did, officer.
Start from the beginning if you don't mind.
Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night. It was so surreal to me, like in a play.
What do you mean, like in a play?
It was just so strange. I could barely comprehend what was happening. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. And then I saw all the surrounding windows go dead, one by one. That's when I understood. I should not be seeing this.
Sounds like the victim was unconscious, or at least incapacitated. Interesting.
Who were they? Can you describe them? How many of them were there? Or what happened next?
I couldn't see their faces well, and there were quite a few of them. But they were very loud and very Martinez. Let's just say that the laboring classes can get rather expressive with their profanities.
How many of them were there?
I couldn't tell you exactly. Less than 10. Maybe 8?
The lieutenant sends you a sharp look at the mention of that number.
Were any of them huge, like 200 kilograms huge?
That's a giant you're describing. No, they were all quite human, as far as I could tell.
What happened next?
I went back inside.
Were you able to see anything from inside?
Officer, the yard was pitch black. There was nothing to see, but I could still hear their voices. They were threatening to kill that poor man.
Were they men, women?
All men, I presume. But again, I couldn't see very clearly.
What ethnicity were they?
I believe they were mostly white, though I believe I saw 2 Areopagites among them. And I am quite certain that one spoke with a Mesk accent.
What happened
Well,
next?
that's the strangest part, officer. Nothing happened. It was oddly quiet for a public lynching.
What do you mean nothing happened? They lynched a guy.
Eventually, their shouts died down, and that was all. There were no gunshots, no celebratory shouts, no anything.
Why didn't you call the RCM? You're right, that does seem strange.
You're right, of course. That is what one is supposed to do in such circumstances. I was simply in shock. I'm afraid I don't have anything else to add.
About what time was all this happening, approximately?
All I can say is that it was late.
So let me get this straight. You didn't actually witness the hanging itself, did you?
No, I didn't see the corpse until the following day.
Well, that was a waste of time.
I'm sorry I couldn't be of more assistance.
What's an official like you doing in Martinez?
The coalition is only looking out for the price stability. Inflation is a killer, like a heart disease blocking the normal circulation of the economy. It must be controlled. The economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires international oversight.
Okay, but what are you doing here in this apartment?
Well, I'm renovating it. It is an interesting project. The building used to be a 12-story skyscraper before the cannons took the top 4 stories off. This, of course, happened when the coalition forces landed here. You could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused when we arrived here.
So you're some kind of bureaucrat?
Yes, as I said before, I am a commissioner from Sur-la-Clé working for the Institute of Price Stabilité. This is one of the main projects of the Moral Intern.
Wait, there isn't actually an Institute of Price Stability, is there? Or maybe there is. God, it's impossible to understand whether someone from the moral intern is joking or not.
What is this international community?
La communauté internationale is what Revacholians colloquially call the Coalition. In other words, the nations that stopped the disaster of the revolution.
What is the price stability?
It is the most important thing.
That doesn't tell me anything.
It's the central goal of any sound monetary policy. Maintaining the price stability is essential to maintaining high levels of economic activity, which is essential for maintaining high levels of employment, which is essential for maintaining the social stability.
Basically, it makes sure the price of bread doesn't change.
Précisément. Too much inflation, bread becomes too expensive. Too much deflation, it becomes too cheap for bakers to produce. That's why the Institute of Price Stability works to keep inflation just below 2%.
Below 2% of what?
But not too far below, no. Too below is also bad. Below, but close to 2%.
You're not answering my questions at all.
The Coalition believes in the importance of informing the public about the benefits of the price stability. Transparency is one of our principles. Would you like an informational pamphlet?
Okay,
A sound
sure.
monetary policy is essential for addressing uncertainty. Stability is the raison d'être of the moral intern. It's the reason why I identify as a moralist. But oh, I don't have my leaflets on me today. That's too bad. You can always call our information line. Making information available is part of the moral intern's commitment to transparency.
I've heard about this moral intern before, but I want to know more. Tell me about Sir Leclerc.
What's there to say? Sur-la-Clé is a modern, urbanized country that measures very high on the Human Development and Freedom Index. Mostly, though, it's known as the executive heart of EPIS. Moreover, it is a great sponsor of less emerged countries. Revachol is only one of its many darlings whose progress it supports and cherishes.
Darlings? That can't be an official designation.
What makes Revachol Sir Le Chef's darling?
Because a great percentage of Revachol's culture hails from Sur-la-Clé. Its language, its people, its cuisine even. Or at least in the downtown La Delta area.
Jamrock and other parts of the international zone have been mercifully spared of Sir Leclerc's love for meatballs and mashed potatoes.
It's the International Organization for Moralists. Hence, Moralist International. The Institute of Price Stability is just one of its many mind babies, as is the Coalition.
Doing one's job doesn't automatically make one anyone's bitch. Besides, there are more nefarious powers to work for than the moral intern.
Turn back to Sunday, friend. Are you a moralist?
But of course.
But why?
Because moralists believe in a normal, stable world governed by democratic values.
But what is a normal, stable world? What?
The Occident is part of the normal world. Oranje, Sur-la-Clé.
Martinez doesn't seem very normal or stable to me.
Martinez? No. Martinez is something else.
What about the rest of Revachol? Is it part of the normal world?
Revachol is generally difficult. It's led by an interim government, which means it hasn't yet achieved full democracy. But they are working towards it. You're all doing very well here, relatively speaking.
He gives you an approving nod. I don't think I'm a moralist. Moralism sounds incredibly boring. I want more action. Moralism is the ideology of foreign occupiers. Revachol must be governed by Revacholians. Democracy is a meaningless sham as long as working class is under the footheel of the capital. It's like every time I'm talking to people, I'm choosing option D. None of the above. Is this moralism?
Is this option D usually the most reasonable answer?
Yes, everything else is super extreme. It's like I'm living with a bunch of lunatics. It's usually the most boring one.
Not boring, my friend. Responsible. Moralism is all about compromise and achieving the achievable. It's pragmatic, realistic, and level-headed. An ideology for doers. Are you a doer, my friend?
It
looks to me like you are. Now, enough of this delightful political interlude. Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Tell me about Oranje.
Oranje is an exemplary nation who, as a core member of EPIS, contributes 28% of our annual budget. Next to Sur-la-Clé, Oranje is probably the most prominent member of the international community.
Which one of them is more Epis or okay but outsiders of Epis? What is Oranje?
Oranje's economy is one of the most advanced in the world. It has successfully transitioned from heavy industry to advanced services and generally acts as an engine for sustainable change in the international community.
But that didn't tell you anything about Oranje.
Can't you just talk like a normal person?
About what?
What Oranje? Just tell me what it's like there.
Oh, it's very urban and very well organized. Their streets are clean, their horse cars run on time, the people are polite and efficient. Like I said, they are an example for less emerged nations to follow.
Okay, but what are... Nope. Let's see. Enough business, let's talk about something else.
Whatever you wish, officer.
Can you tell me about your friend?
Ah, my friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from Kedra, and life has not been easy for him. But he understands the importance of education. He has taken his future into his own hands, and that's all that matters.
What's Kedra?
Kedra is a candidate member of APIS. But, between you and me, their potential membership is a more contentious issue.
What do you mean?
That it's never going to happen. They entered negotiations in 21, and it's been pending ever since.
What's this EPIS thing you keep talking about?
EPIS is a very special program developed by the Moral Intern to support certain Occidental nations. It began as a unified system of weights and measures, which proved to be a wild success. Nothing but kilograms and centimeters as far as the eye can see.
God, yes. Sweet standardization. The backbone of rationality and commerce.
It was such a wild success that we expanded it into an economic union for the processing of steel. Another success. And between you and me, the Moral Intern feels emboldened by this success. Emboldened to take EPIS to the next level.
Okay, but like, what does it stand for?
Why, it stands for progress and stability, like the Moral Intern as a whole.
No, what do the letters stand for?
It's been such a wild, extraordinary success thus far. We are very excited to take it to the next level.
You don't even hear the words I'm saying, do you?
A supranational political alliance. The United States of Occident.
Is it going to be like this place here?
You mean Revachol? No, it's going to have transparent democracy.
Is Revachol going to be part of EPIS?
It's one day going to be a candidate member of EPIS, sure.
Except that candidate members never become full members, do they?
Didn't you say that candidate members never become real members?
No. Candidate members do become members. Why do we even have the whole system in place if they don't? It just takes time. Time and evaluation. But we were talking about my friend here, not politics.
How did the two... How did you two even become friends?
How did any of us become friends? Bad things happening on the Insulindian Isola? Oil platforms ablaze in the night? Civil wars lasting for years? Finally, the international community is forced to step in.
What are you talking about? No one becomes friends that way.
Au contraire. It's how millions of people end up where they are. Meeting the people they meet. It's how I came here. And my friend, too.
You still haven't told me who he is.
Sorry. Who?
Sorry, who? The man throws a quick glance at his watch. Your friend, the smoker on the balcony. We were just talking about him.
But I told you, officer. He's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Education is the foundation of our future, especially the arts. It is a cornerstone of our civilization.
So all you can tell me about him is that he's here to study the arts.
He's deeply enmeshed in the study of the fine arts, yes.
Which arts?
He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. Perhaps graphic design, printmaking, who knows? The world is open wide for a talented youth like him.
What are you doing in his apartment by yourself?
I'm just enjoying the view.
What view? It's dark outside.
Listen.
He says, raising his hand.
Baby is crying in the neighboring apartment.
Someone's baby is crying.
No, listen.
He says again, looking outside.
The Insulindian Bay.
What about
This place
it?
used to be a luxury accommodation before the revolution. Apartments, of course, were much bigger then. A few walls have been added here and there, leaving some of the tenants without a private bathroom or a kitchen. But the million real view stays. You can't take that away.
He knocks on the balcony door, his face mirrored in the darkened glass. I was asking about your
My friend comes and goes. I'm sure you'll see him around. He's a busy bee.
A busy bee? What an odd choice of words.
Sorry. Who? But I told you, officer. He's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Officer, you have to understand. I can't give you his personal information. I'm sure you have your own methods and databases, right? Please don't put me in this situation. He's deeply enmeshed in the study. He's a truly free spirit. I'm all ears, officer. A moment, officer. Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave.
I'm not going anywhere. I just want to take a look around this apartment.
Sure, go ahead. It's a beautiful space.
He glances
Let
at
me
his
know if you have any
watch.
further questions.
What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate, political opinions somewhere in Martinez.
You must be mistaken. I'm a real radical. That's me, Mr. Reasonable. Someone's got to keep it sane around here. This is because I keep saying none of the above to political stuff, isn't it?
It's also about that, but it's also more. Perhaps it's the hangover. Perhaps it's a temporary surge of serotonin. But something tells you it's time to become a citizen of the Kingdom of Conscience.
First, where's the Kingdom of Conscience? No more talk. Sign me up for a passport. No, I'm too fiery for this watercolor ideology. I'm trying to develop more extreme and interesting opinions.
That's a pity. Real democracy was just around the corner for Revachol. All the leading citizens are waiting there, without you.
Okay. Spencer's men's perfume lingers in the air. Alright, did I miss anything in this apartment? Alright, let's just go.
Yes?
I wonder how I get up to the top. There's lights on. Alright, well, I guess it's time to leave.
Yes?
Really? Oh, these kids out here 24/7? Cooper, stop barking. Chill. Chill out. Shush. Shush. Hello? I already heard you at the door. Why are you trying to scare me?
What?
I already heard you at the door. Why are you trying to scare me?
Damn it, how'd you hear me?
Because I heard the door.
Damn it, I was trying to be so quiet.
Plus the dog's barking. It's not that hard to figure out. Okay. Okay, thank you. Cooper, lay down.
The bed is still cold from the broken window, and not too inviting. But it's yours. You've earned it.
What?
What?
What did you say?
I was talking to Brady.
Oh.
The bed is still cold from the wind blowing in from the broken window. The mattress creaks as you close your eyes and
Wanna
try
say hi to
your
your
hardest
dog?
to fall asleep.
Cooper, go get Sam. Go get her.
Here
Cooper,
we
go
are
get her.
again, my broken bud. The waves are coming, carrying you away. But you can't go. No, you have to stay. Always half aware of yourself.
Okay.
You're not cooperating, brother man.
Why?
It's your disgusting body. Even through your sleep, you feel a vague discomfort suffusing it. Your belly and your sides are unpleasantly tender. You wish you could curl up into a fetal ball of safety. But you cannot, because of the pain.
That pain in your right side is your enlarged liver, by the way. As for your kidneys, you've really been compounding the damage lately.
These are my just desserts. I will endure this pain with dignity. No, please, where is that blessed nothingness, that sweet oblivion? I am an artist, and liver damage is my art. I think I need medical attention.
There's no dignity here. Only reflections of your body mass. Flashes of the day. You keep coming back to yourself in the mirror. But why? To admire all your accomplishments? You're just stuck here, in the half-world. Could try looking at other people. Really looking. But why would you want to start doing that?
Just get me out of here, then back to the other place. I'm looking at people all the time. I like them. Human beings will also betray you.
Oh, baby boy, You're already in the other place. There's no nourishment for you tonight. Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe if you know, like, took a lot of drugs before you go to sleep, that'd do the trick. Maybe if you cracked the damn thing, then you'd feel satisfied and tired, holding the picture puzzle in your hands, complete. Maybe if you weren't so hard on yourself.
What do you think you're doing right now? Coming to some greater awareness? Look at all these lights, blinking in and out of existence. Thoughts! You're just pretending that you're asleep, even to yourself, while the world goes on without you.
Let it. Let it.
But it never seems to let you go, does it? Time to rise and wipe that shining sweat off as best you can. Gather your bearings. Rock and roll.
Open your eyes. Okay, that was weird. Is it the next day? Yep.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression.
And yeah, okay. Words fail to describe how rank it smells in here. They should have sent a poet.
You look like shit.
Your ruffled face reflects in the man's sunglasses.
And I don't mean that as a metaphor.
You look like Bop Blup. I don't like Blup. I know it's intentional. Last couple of days have been rough. Looks don't matter. It's what's inside that counts. I'm never going to get this case solved.
Like undercover?
The woman in the RCM uniform interjects.
Well, as far as disguises go, this is one of the best I've seen. I mean, I could swear you're an actual bum.
Oh, come on, Jean. It looks like it's been a rough week on him.
It's not just this week. What do you want?
There's something about this guy that matches with a face in your head. A similar but different face. You know what it is. It's like the two of you know each other. Just ask him.
Tell me the truth. You know me from somewhere.
Oh, I definitely know you from somewhere.
Another life.
From where? From another
Yes,
life?
From another life. A different life. Maybe the life of a police officer belonging to the ranks of the...
He pauses.
To what station do you think you would belong in this alternate and totally fictional reality?
41st, 47th, 69. Okay.
That's exactly right. Down to a fraction.
Really?
No, not really.
He lets the silence drag out.
He seems to be observing you through the reflective glass of his eyewear. There's no reply. Perhaps repeat it?
Never mind, this is stupid.
Stupid is a gross understatement.
He Feel his eyes behind the shades mapping you out.
How about 41? How does 41st sound? Never
Let's
mind.
talk more about...
I'm not going along with this.
Let's talk more about that hypothetical Station 41 you mentioned. Kim, who is this guy? Got some questions for you, I'm a cop.
Okay.
Oh, the hypothetical 41. Yeah, let's fantasize about that. He blinks aggressively. I'm not busy. You're not busy. Let's just play around. So what would our relationship be in this alternative universe? Do you have a crime to solve? Who else is in our imaginary police station?
You're not going to believe this, but police officers. Yes, sir. Solving crimes, locking up bad guys, and get this, and not getting that drink on at 2 o'clock. Just some regular boring motherfuckers in suits and uniforms. Nothing spectacularly extravagant like you, the far-out son of Lang.
So what would our relationship be in this alternative universe? Do you have a crime to solve? Who is this far-out son of the Long? I can't imagine it anymore.
Let's be crazy. Let's say you and I are partners. How's that for a thought experiment?
Like partners in crime, where you seem like a cool guy. I'd love to have you as my partner. You seem like a bit of a drag. No offense, but I could do better. Kim's cooler than you.
No,
Probably is his
in
partner.
this thought experiment, we are police officers in a police station. We don't do crimes. We're not crime bros.
Come on, stop it.
So what would our... Do you have a crime to solve?
Oh, no. You see, I enjoy watching other better cops solve crimes. And let me tell you, it's been quite a privilege seeing you work.
This isn't helping.
She says, shaking her head and looking at the man with sunglasses disapprovingly. I can't imagine anymore. Who is the far-out son of Long?
Oh, it's you eccentric genius. I mean, with your unorthodox approach to police work, it has to be you.
Want to tell me more about him or her?
Not even a little bit.
It's an urban myth about an officer who is so far undercover he can't remember who he is. As I said, just an urban myth. You are not the son of Lang.
Can't imagine it anymore.
Neither can I, partner. Neither can I.
Kim, who is this guy?
I'm not getting involved in this.
It's not my style, he thinks, glancing at the man in sunglasses and the woman beside him. Oh boy, they're mad at him. No wonder. He just doesn't recognize them.
Got some questions for you, I'm a cop.
About what? You don't look like a cop. You know what you look like?
Like a prophet?
Not the prophet shit again.
He didn't answer your question.
Now will you answer some questions for me?
No.
Why not?
Because it's not my job. Why don't you go and fucking do yours and solve this damn hanging?
If you don't want to answer questions, maybe you want to hear me say things. Let's talk about something else.
Actually, I don't want to hear you say things.
Come on, Jean.
Okay, say things. I want to hear you say things.
Hear that? He wants you to say things. Say one. Suddenly, out of nowhere, case-related things start popping up in your head.
Okay, I'm doing this investigation. A man is hanged.
So, do you know who hanged him?
Hey, why am I even telling you this?
I don't know. Why are you?
He gives you an odd look.
Oh my god, there's more. You want something more? What is it?
Okay, see you later.
Watch out for yourself, loser.
That voice, so very familiar. Did you hear it when calling to your station and reporting your badge missing?
Wait, your voice, I recognize it.
Oh really? I wonder where.
Lost my badge recently when I called in to report it missing. You were there.
That's the where you remember me from?
Maybe.
Okay then. It's probably a coincidence. People sound alike. Goodbye.
The woman in an RCM patrol officer's uniform winces as she notices you.
I would really prefer not to talk to you right now.
A patrol officer is the lowest rank in the RCM, below lieutenant and sergeant.
Hold on. You're a patrol officer of the RCM.
Yes, I am.
Is everything alright? Why don't you want to talk to me?
I don't know. I mean, why would I want to talk to you? By the...
She pinches the root of her nose.
Okay, fine. Let's talk. What did you want?
What does one talk about with a fellow officer?
What precinct?
Am I from? God, he doesn't know.
Fucking deranged lunatic.
Are you with him, the man with sunglasses?
Of course I'm with him. Why do you ask?
Nothing, just wondering.
The sooner you figure this hanging out, the sooner everyone can go home. I don't know what to say.
Don't say anything, Judith.
What are you, the police, doing here?
I'm just looking out for...
No one. I'm just a man with sunglasses. And you are?
Say nothing.
I just want to do my job, that's all.
Something about the man with sunglasses and you. Okay, the man with the sunglasses and his hypothetical Station 41. Weird, right?
I know, super weird. I guess it was kind of weird, yes. No, this whole interaction was perfectly normal. Frankly, I'm way past caring or wondering.
There's something missing here. Something you can't put our finger on. You know what? Just ask him. I know it sounds crazy. And yes, just cross it off the list. It's probably not true, though.
Again? I can't believe this shit.
Look, I just have to ask you, are we from the police station?
I'm going to say no. Just to see what you'll say to that. What'd you say? Okay.
Jean, he said okay. Give it a rest.
Okay, I was clearly wrong. He is a firefighter.
Really?
Can I help you? Got the 20 real? Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow.
Yes?
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
Hi, gendarme. Another rendezvous.
There he is again, the smoker on the balcony, right here in the whirling ring. Hi. Hello, adjust your tie, you're here. Hello.
Hello, hello. So what brings you here?
Tell me again about the muscular type who came to investigate the crime. I met your Sunday friend.
You did? And how did you like him?
You're right, he was magical, magically bureaucratic. I didn't like him as much as I like you. I didn't. He's a government official. I don't trust governments.
Ah, shoot. Why not?
How was he staying at your place in the middle of the night?
He has keys. And he likes the view. To the sea, I mean. A visitor from the first world. He's not like you and me, gendarme. He can always return.
His smile seems melancholic. He can always return.
To his
Okay.
opportunities in Occident, Sir Leclerc. Still, his coming and going brings some life to the village. Or is it just money? I don't know.
What are you two?
Friends, I told you. Sunday friends. Friends who like to get together from time to time.
What does it mean, a Sunday friend?
That he won't be there when times get tough, I guess.
Is that even a friend?
It is. On Sundays.
I don't want to talk about other people. I want to talk about you.
Hmm? What about me, gendarme?
What are you doing here?
Admiring the atmosphere. What about you, officer?
Swear, I live here. My room is right upstairs. This is where I'm going to go down in history. I'm going to sing karaoke. I'm here to kick some butt and solve the case I'm working on. I don't know what I'm doing here.
Well, here's to you.
He raises a glass before taking a sip of his drink. Froth gaze in his mouth. Tell me again about the muscular type who came to investigate the crime.
Oh yes, let's see. He knocked on my door a few days after the lynching. I think he was going through the entire building, asking questions.
What did you tell him?
Nothing. That I didn't see anything.
And he believed you?
Why shouldn't he?
Did you tell him about your friend?
What friend?
Your Sunday friend, the witness.
No, I don't think it came up.
What did he look like?
Muscular, handsome, strong, like one of those military types.
Was he alone?
Yes, but he was speaking to someone on his earpiece.
His earpiece?
Yes, you know those tiny speaker microphones that fancy security guards sometimes wear.
What was he saying?
Just reporting back whatever I was telling him.
Besides muscular, did he have any other identifying traits?
Oh, let me think. He had an accent. He sounded like one of those mercenaries. He sounded vaguely Oranese. No, not vaguely, scratch that. He sounded definitely Oranese.
Thanks for the information.
Sure. Anything else on your mind? Bye-bye, gendarme.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time?
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Titus does not look particularly happy to see you. I found someone who saw the hanging, a witness. Oh, dang, my authority is still too low.
A witness? You ain't got shit. The locals would never come to you with this.
That's just cop tactics, Titus. Next, he's gonna tell you one of us already roll on the others, and he's in witness protection.
Just drop this.
Your fake witness? Yeah, let's do that before this gets embarrassing.
Establish authority. Yes. Authority. Feverish thoughts race through your mind.
I'm the only thing keeping this town from going to hell, and you're not helping point your finger. Turn to the lieutenant. Kim, I need your gun. That's all I got. First you tell me someone's being raped, then you don't say who. That's BS. Don't.
Stop shitting your pants. You don't need to know, all right? We took care of it. The law handled it, all right?
Yeah. Aren't you listening? It's done. Finito.
I guess we're both the law around here. If you start to think about it, you're not the law, I am the law.
For God's sake, stop shouting! Stop breaking things in my establishment! Stop provoking those oafs! They're not going to give you anything, can't you see? I can't have a police interrogation in here. People are trying to eat.
Doesn't concern you, cafe manager. Shut up, barman. I'm gonna tear your stupid hairy head off, Garte.
Of course it concerns me if you make this kind of...
Easy, babes. What is this? I can't have a slap fight in my bar. It's embarrassing.
We are deep, deep in forest territory. We need to cool off and re-engage later.
Everyone can see you picked some wrong options. Next time you have to come up with better things to say.
Alright, I'm gonna end my stream here. I might come back on later, but thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice evening. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe, depending on what platform you're watching from. Have a great evening. Thank you. Bye.